wish me greetings once again. Crowds will be singing silent night.
Board of Trustee regular board meeting. And would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Today's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Alicia Chang from 6th grade student at Mountwood Middle School.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we go down to item number 2, I would like to acknowledge some special guests that we have in today's room. Today we have Gloria Rodriguez, Mayor of the City of Socorro. In the back. We also have Adriana Urarte, City Manager for the City of Socorro. And we also have Adriana Rodriguez, Administrative Assistant for the City of Socorro. I would also like to acknowledge if there's any active or retired servicemen or women, would you please stand and be recognized by the Socorro Independent School District for your service to this great country. Let's go to item number 3, Superintendent's comments.
Yes, President Gandara and members of the board, on behalf of Team SISD, I'd like to wish Trustee Mr. Tony Ayu with a belated happy birthday. His birthday was on December 2nd. Happy belated birthday, Mr. Ayu. And this evening, we are also welcoming 2 new leaders to our elite leadership team. So as I call your name, please stand to be recognized, starting off with Mr. Carlos Guerra, who is our new principal at Mission Early College High School. And Ms. Patricia Pedrosa is our new assistant principal at Hernando Middle School. Congratulations, and we know that you all will do an outstanding job in your new roles. Our completion ceremony at Option High School will be tomorrow, December 14th at 10 in the morning. I'm very, very proud of all of our Option High School students who worked hard, maintained an I can do it attitude, and never gave up. So tomorrow is a big day, a special day for them and also for us. And I'd also like to remind everyone that our district will be closed on December 19th through the 30th for the winter break. Our teachers will return on January 2nd, and our students will return on January 3rd. You know the holiday season is always the best time of the year in which our teachers and our staff get a much, much deserved break, and also our students, and they get that opportunity, that special time to spend with their families and friends. So I thank everyone for their hard work and dedication to our students. Also want to wish our entire Socorro ISD community a Merry, Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Thank you, President. That concludes my comments.
Let's move down to item number 4, Board Honors. Daniel Escobar.
Good evening, President Gandara, members of the board, and Superintendent Dr. Espinosa. My name is Daniel Escobar, Chief Communications Officer for the district, and it is my pleasure to introduce tonight's recognitions. If you'll please step down to receive our honorees. Our first recognition will honor Team SISD students who excelled in the 15th annual El Paso Community College K-12 Salute to the Arts contest. 4 SISD students were chosen for select awards out of the more than 1,200 entries submitted from campuses across the region this year. Their artwork was displayed in the Administrative Services Building at EPCC for public viewing. Congratulations to these young artists. And they are from El Dorado High School, Cristina Chavira. Her teacher is Ms. Candace Prince. Also from El Dorado High School, David Castillo. His teacher is Allison Vega. And from Slider Middle School, Isaiah Cisneros. His teacher is Josefina Mendoza. Students, teachers, if you'll please join the board and our superintendent for a photo. And just a quick note as they're gathering that all of the photos taken by our district photographer, Mr. Largo, will be posted on the district website. There's a photo icon on the bottom right-hand side of our website. It takes you to SmugMug where the photos are available for free high-resolution download. Congratulations once again. Our second recognition will honor 4 Team SISD students who won the 2016 SISD Winter Holiday Art Contest. These students earned top honors for their holiday-inspired pieces, which also incorporated SISD's Endless Opportunities tagline. The artwork was used in the Superintendent's Holiday Open House invitation and was featured on the district website. It will be in the Socorro newsletter and on the district social media accounts. The winners will receive their artwork, which has been professionally framed, and a packet of holiday postcards designed with their artwork. Congratulations to this year's winners. They are from the K through 2nd category from John Drugan, Jocelyn Flores. From James Butler, the 3rd through 5th grade winner, Caitlin Dresa. Her teacher is Patricia Rodriguez. Our middle school winner from Bill Seibert School, Ernie Valderrama. His teacher is Sammy Macias. Our high school winners from El Dorado High School, Janet Meraz. And her teacher, once again, Ms. Candace Prince. If we'll have you please return to the front for a photo with our board and superintendent.
We got an exercise today.
Keep smiling, keep smiling. Congratulations once again. Next, we recognize Team SISD students who won the 2016 SISD Celebrate Freedom Week essay and poster contest. The winners created posters and wrote essays that reflect how they benefit from the sacrifices made by people in our community for their freedoms. Through the contest, students also learn more about the Declaration of Independence, the United States Constitution, the abolitionist movement, and women's suffrage. Congratulations to the Celebrate Freedom Week contest winners. They are from Desert Wind School, Andrea Rivera. From Dr. Sue Shook, Luciano Fascio. Luciana. Also from Shook, Juliet Banuelos. From Bill Seibert School, Grace Mendenhall. From Purple Heart, Melanie Roman Nasif. Also from Purple Heart, Elijah Isa. Continuing with Purple Heart, Ethan Duevanos. From Desert Wind, Savannah Codina. From Bill Seibert, Mauvi Muniz. Another student from Purple Heart, Ashley Jefferson. From Ernesto Serna, Priscilla Sapien. Back to Purple Heart Elementary, Juliet Rodriguez. Another student from Bill Seibert, Regina Escatel. From Purple Heart, Maite Miranda. From Robert Rojas, Maylene Padilla. From Purple Heart, Sofia Cedillo. From Robert Rojas, Manuel Luján. From Montwood Middle, Ann Chang. From Ernesto Serna, Jasmine Rubio. From Sanchez Middle, Elisa Quintela. From El Dorado High School, Grecia Escobar. Also from El Dorado, Sorelis Roldón. And from El Dorado High School, Ariana Fernandez. One more round of applause for all of our winners. If we can have you all please come to the front for a photo. Will you hold it? All right, everybody look straight ahead. Don't look at mom, just look straight ahead. Keep smiling, keep smiling. Almost there. Congratulations once again. Our next recognition is in honor of the America's High School varsity football team for winning the 2016 District 16A and a by-district championship. The Trailblazers had a great season with the most wins in the school's history and back-to-back by-district championships. The team had 2 players lead the state in rushing, and then one in rushing and one in sacks. 11 players were selected to all district teams, and 6 players were named to the All-Star team. Also, an assistant coach was named the Built by Nature Assistant Coach of the Week for the state, and a player earned the Built for Tough Player of the Week award. They finished the season with an overall record of 9 wins, only 3 losses. Congratulations to the championship Trailblazers. So that we can hear the names of all of our student athletes, we ask that the members of the audience please hold your applause until we've introduced the entire team. We'll begin with Jonathan Aguilar, Jaden Alvarado, Brian Anchondo, Jalen Andrade, Colton Connolly, Elijah Escamilla, Christian Estorga, AJ Estorga, Julian Galindo, Oscar Garcia, Ivan Garcia, Alejandro Giel, Dominic Herbert, Tremaine Henderson, Jesus Hernandez, Warren Kim, Jeremy Landavaso, Isaac Lerma, Martin Del Campo, Francisco Melendez, Christian No, Isaac Olmeda, Edgar Ortiz, Frank Paz, Andres Rios, Alexis Rubio, Omar Sanchez, Alexander Sanchez, Dejan Sommers, Jesus Vasquez, Armando Villa, Gabriel Villa, Jacob Lujan, Jaime de la Cruz, Alex Rocha, Mario Navarro, Jesse Montelongo. Assistant coaches are Mike Madrid, Jesus Favela, Sam Holmes, Oscar Mendoza, Menson Holloway, Tracy Pace, Gilbert Romo, Jesus Lujan, Jaron Gomez. Offensive coordinator is Dwan Smith. Defensive coordinator is Bill Schmidt, and they are led by head coach Patrick Milton. Gentlemen, if we can have you all back for a photo. Just find a gap. Congratulations once again. We have two special presentations this evening. First, we will recognize the SISD Purchasing Department for earning the Texas Association of School Business Officials Award of Merit with recognized status for the 6th year in a row. The award is provided to school districts statewide that are committed to following professional standards and the acquisition of goods and services. Team SISD will be recognized at the TASBO's 71st Annual Conference in February in Austin for outstanding organization, policies, and procedures, staff training, use of technology, communication, and management of cooperative programs. Congratulations again to the SISD Purchasing Department. They are Judith Gonzalez, Julie Mancinas, Estela Aguirre, Debbie Mora, Maria Morales, Grace Wallace, and they are led by their director, Sam Garcia. we can have you all please return to the front for a photo. Congratulations once again. Next, we will recognize SISD's Community Education Department for receiving the Texas Workforce Commission Adult Education and Literacy Performance Quality Improvement Award. The team earned 2 awards for educational functioning level achievement for overall gains and educational functioning gains in ESL. The district is being awarded $40,000 in grants that will be used to continue to strengthen the adult education program. Absolutely. Congratulations to the members of the team. They are Susan Zenker, Barbara Scholl, Michael Saenz, Karina Rodriguez, Diana Resendez, Juana Pasillas, Mary Jo Ochoa Hernandez, Roseanne Loya, Christine Llamas, Maria Labrado, Rosa Hidalgo, Manuela Hernandez, Melanie Garcia, Cecil Garcia, Beatriz Alavaz, and their director is Anthony Fraga. If we can have you all please return for a photo. Congratulations once again. That concludes our recognitions for this evening. Thank you.
Load up on Germix. Just have everybody walk out. I don't see the group.
Those aren't support. Those are support. They're on our side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. A bunch of them showed up to support.
Okay, we'll continue with today's agenda. Let's go down to item number 6, open forum. We did have some people sign up for open forum. We greatly appreciate those individuals who have requested to speak to the board during open forum or in regards to a specific agenda item. We are bound by certain time constraints in order to cover all items on the agenda, and therefore must limit presentations to 5 minutes. Please respect the rights of others in your presentation. By law, the board cannot take action upon or discuss any item which is not posted on tonight's agenda, but will give all presentations our serious consideration. Thank you. Let's proceed with open forum. First on open forum, we have Ms. Veronica Hernandez from Socorro ISD. Ms. Hernandez, good to see you, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. Merry Christmas to you all. It's a great program. Thank you for inviting us. Good evening, President Gándara, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. My name is Veronica Hernandez, and I serve as president of Socorro ISD. Last night, the healthcare workshop presented by Mr. Reza was very informative, and I appreciated the comparison information that shows Socorro ISD has done a good job in keeping healthcare costs to employees lower than the surrounding districts of similar size. However, a $240 per year increase is still a significant to many of our members and other employees as well. In the presentation last night, Mr. Reza showed how participation in the general wellness program offered by the district has yielded nearly $1 million savings. I would ask that while you are thinking about the proposed increase prior to a vote, you consider the following. We have 6 months before the increase, if approved, would go into effect. One of the most compelling statistics from last night was the fact that 36.5% of plan participants have a chronic condition and drive 67.8% of the cost. However, only 16% of individuals with chronic conditions participated in a health improvement activity. Let's double down on encouraging employee participation in wellness efforts with a specific inducement that we could very well prevent a premium increase by preventing more health complications. You could still inform and advise our employees that if more savings are not realized, you may have to raise the premiums on July the 1st. I understand Mr. Reza's concerns about funding reoccurring expenses from the fund balance. However, with a current balance of several $1 million in excess of 3 months operating expenses for the district, surely we could afford to give our above proposal a chance to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. Next, we have Ms. Sarah Juarez. Good afternoon, Mrs. Juarez.
Good afternoon. Good evening. My name is Sarah Juarez, and I'm a teacher at Desert Wind School. I have worked there since the campus opened 13 years ago, and I still remember the smell of the school, the new teachers and administrators, and the first day of instruction, kids running around. Yes, I have been at Desert Wind since it opened, and we have experienced success as well as endured hardships. Some of our students' triumphs are mastering the English language when first immigrating to the United States, earning commending performance level in state testing for 2 consecutive years, becoming district champs in football and basketball, being recognized in science projects for 3 years in a row, having our sixth grade students exposed to college life as well as community service through the Mother-Daughter, Father-Son program, and so many other accomplishments. This would not have happened if our campus would not have worked as a team. Our Desert Wing family has unified and became stronger in times of needs. I remember 6 years ago, we lost our assistant principal, Jose Pedrosa, who was dearly loved and appreciated by many. This was an unexpected because he never complained of any physical ailment. On the other hand, our principal had just gone through open heart surgery and was very close to death. Never did we expect a healthy young man to leave us so soon. Our school has mourned for this loss, but we came together as a family to overcome this tragedy. At times we had questions and doubts, but we had to find solutions to move forward, and we did, thank God. Today we are suffering another loss from within our family, one of our children, because they just become ours as well. When one of our members hurts, everyone suffers, and we would never want to see our students be put in harm's way. Our expectations have always included respect above all things, and we practice the golden rule, which is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But we also have a structured environment where academics and behavior are addressed. We are very thankful for the administrators that have come our way. I tip my hat to all of them because it's not an easy task to guide a pre-K through 8 campus of nearly 1,000 in attendance, including students, teachers, and staff. That's why I admire and respect the incessant work of Ms. Franco, Mr. Astorga, Ms. Pidon, and last previous administrator, Ms. Sanda, that have done great in our campus. They have the love, the dedication, and the stamina, that patience that not only is for the children, but for their staff as well. Undoubtedly, I believe if we come together as a community to find solutions for the problems of our children that they encounter on a daily basis, we will be able to make lasting impressions on them, helping them to make wise choices that can set them on the path to good decision-making. We need to be more vigilant, not only at school, but outdoors, at home, around friends and other surroundings. We want to continue to educate our future generations and share successful stories. Thank you for allowing me to speak from my heart.
Thank you, ma'am.
Juan Ibarra. Good evening, Mr. Ibarra.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Espinosa. I come to you today as a proud member, not only as a proud member of the faculty at Desert Wind, but also from someone whose brothers and sisters attended that very campus. And I am here to express my conviction that Desert Wind is something that Socorro Independent School District can be very proud of. And that the work that is going on there is strictly for the benefit of the children and making their lives better. I came in last year, and I've been there in different capacities over the last year as the administration took over. And as you know, that it's a school in transition. There's new challenges with combining different communities and a growing population of students. And I have great confidence in the work that has been done there by the administration. Mr. Astorga, Ms. Anda formerly, Ms. Padon, and Ms. Franco. I have not seen not one time in my interactions with the administration any complacency as far as taking that campus forward and They make strides to bring all the resources they can. And at the beginning of this year, we came together after many changes, after adjusting to the new population. And I will tell you that the morale in that campus was good then, and it is good now. All the teachers are working hard. And I have confidence in Ms. Franco. I know that her goals are to move forward, to take Desert Wind to the top. I know that we are adjusting to something, a tragedy, to concerns from parents, which I will never diminish. But the community needs to come together. We need to communicate. And I know that from our role as teachers, I know from senior administrators, I know that they're willing to do that. I know that they're willing to move forward and make the community come together again and continue just to make the lives of those children better. Because it is a jewel. Desert Wind is a jewel. It has beautiful children. And I am so proud to be at that school, and I'm so proud to come and talk to you and tell you that I believe in that school. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Noe Velarde. Good afternoon, Ms. Velarde.
Good evening, board members. My name is Noe Velarde. I am also a teacher at Desert Wind, and I'm also the athletic coordinator there as well. This is my first year at Desert Wind, although I'm been with the district for the last 5 years. I just recently moved. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I actually wanted to move to Desert Wind ever since I used to live in the community. I lived there for about 15 years, and it's just recently in the past couple of months that I moved away, but I still feel very, very part of that community. Many of my friends, they still live in the community whose kids I teach now at Desert Wind. I feel very proud to be part of it and to start making the changes. As my previous colleagues already mentioned, the school is growing. The school is going through some changes that probably some parents never foreseen happening, going from a few hundred students to now 1,000, and it's expected to have even more as the community keeps growing. It is a very sad situation, the ones that we live in right now. I'm just here to ask the community, other teachers, and the board for any help so that we can come together and be the community that I wanted to work with. I want to mention this again. I love this community. That's why I'm here. That's why I wanted to move. I was not moved. I was not forced to go to another school. I wanted to be there to make a change. And unfortunately, I know we're going through some tough times, but I know that together we're going to be able to overcome them. But we need the support of the community. We need the support of the board. We need the support of all the teachers and the students that you see behind me. We're a proud community. We are a proud school, and we're making changes. We are making history in sports, and we are also getting better in academics as well, which is what counts. But before this, you will never hear Desert Wind football, Desert Wind basketball. And I know I'm talking about sports, but I mean, that's one of the parts that I deal with. But that is a big part of the morale of the students. When kids can see that they can succeed in something, they can succeed in sport, they're also gonna succeed in academics. So I'm here to ask for the support of the community, to ask for your support, so that we can overcome this. And I would really appreciate anything that you can do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Chris Navarro.
Good evening. My
Mr.
name's Chris Navarro. My brother's sitting back there is Alan Navarro. We are both graduates from Desert Wind. I'm from the class from 2011. He's from 2012. And we are both registered as volunteers at Desert Wind. When our university gives us the time to, we come back to El Paso and we spend some hours helping with the teachers or any activities as PE or when they make field trips, we help the teachers with the students and everything. Every time we go back to Desert Wind, it feels great to be like being home. It feels amazing. We miss the teachers, everything. And the times we're there, faculty or even the teachers that are somewhere present here, they use my brother and I as an example to the students to motivate them. They tell them to strive for success, keep going on the studies, get a scholarship, because my brother and I both have an academic scholarship and a sports scholarship right now in the university playing soccer. And it feels great to be a role model to the students for them to keep going, because they're going to be the new generation for you guys, for us, and it feels great. Last semester, I'm a sophomore in college. My brother didn't graduate yet from high school. Last semester, there was a kermés in Desert Wind, and I went to help. There was a soccer game between the students, parents, and faculty. It was awesome playing again there, watching the kids have fun, and the administration's getting in there, playing too with the kids, enjoying the day. It was a great feeling seeing everyone having fun. Well, if I may, could I talk about something personal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. A few days ago, I was scrolling through Facebook and I'm following one of the news, and I see my friend shared it, and I can't believe this is happening, and well, I was curious about that, so I pressed play, and it was about a meeting with some of the parents talking about putting them to clean the tables. I don't know if you've seen the news about that. As punishments, they were complaining that they don't send their kids to school to clean the tables. But even back in the days, I'm a student that went through that. The teachers all know how it was back in the days. I was a kid. I would talk a lot. We would have meetings with my mom, my dad, and I wouldn't stop. I would interrupt class. I mean, I was a kid, right? And well, I literally met all the administrators in Desert Wind, the new ones, Mr. Solis, Ms. Acosta, Mr. First, Mr. Pedrosa, rest in peace. And I got close to them. And I would get a few days a week cleaning tables as punishment, because, I mean, there's always going to be consequences for everything you do, right? And it was the time my mom got tired of me talking back to her. And she went personally to Mr. Solis, the administration, and told them to give me a month of punishment, cleaning tables. So I would just go eat, sit down, pick up after myself, and start cleaning. And I mean, to be honest, when you're little, you complain about everything. Oh, homework. The teachers want me to say, yes, ma'am. I mean, that's for as respect to the teachers, to your elders, too. And growing up now, I go back and tell my mom, thanks for doing that, because that changed me, to be honest. And entering high school, I got in band to become responsible and mature and have what's called like responsibilities and everything. So I got in band, I became responsible, graduated, thank God. And well, even in university, I still go and do community services there, help people, everything I can do to help. And I don't know, they complain, but it gets worse every time you go. Even in East Lake, they give punishments, because if you don't, what's going to be just another piece of paper to you? I mean, the student's going to be saying, I mean, if they're not going to do anything, just give me another piece of paper that can I just throw away.
I apologize for remembering that as your
okay.
time.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you,
for
sir.
your time.
Next, we have Christian Rivera. Good evening, Mr. Rivera.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Christian Rivera. I'm a student in Desert Wind, and I would like to give some positive feedback to the school I am in right now. I have moved into Desert Wind because, well, my family started to move closer and, well, mostly economy, we couldn't go to my last school. So we moved to Desert Wind, and when I went in there, I felt welcome. I felt like a family member. They welcomed me inside. They showed me around. They showed me the teachers. I felt positive about the school. Later on, I saw no bullying. The teachers helped me a lot. They taught me more stuff than I have ever thought about. They taught me life lessons. It was great. And when I hear about the feedback that, oh, Desert Wind's all bad, all this, I kind of see that, why do they put negative feedback on Desert Wind? Because in my old school, I saw more bullying there and I saw more negativity in there. But now I see positive, I see welcoming, I see family there. They even welcomed me as family, and I was grateful for that. And I just wanted to say here that mostly to say that Desert Wind's a great school. It welcomed me. It felt very great that they introduced me to the school, and I feel like Desert Wind could get more positive feedback from others as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Next, we have Elsa Soto. Elsa Soto. Good evening, Mrs. Soto.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Elsa Soto, soy una madre de un alumno de la escuela. Vengo a hablar, a decir la experiencia que yo tengo de la escuela, ¿verdad? Tengo una hija egresada de ahí de la escuela de Serwin desde que empezó la escuela y nunca ha habido problemas. Nunca ella salió de la escuela, nunca tuvo ningún problema. Bullying, nada, los maestros conviven siempre con ellos. El anterior director siempre convivió, tuvo buena convivencia con todos. Ahorita que está mi otra hija, ya está a punto de salir de la escuela, no ha habido problemas. A mí nunca me han mencionado nada de eso, ni la niña, pues de repente hay burlas y todo, como cualquier lugar, ¿verdad? Con cualquier escuela, pero no pasa de eso. Hasta ahorita mi hija no me ha reportado nada, que haya problemas grandes, ni nada. Ella está tranquila y eso es lo que yo les puedo decir, mi experiencia que yo tengo de la escuela.
Gracias, Ms. Soto.
Gracias.
Next, we have Leticia Ureda.
Buenas noches a todos.
Buenas noches.
Lo mismo que dijo mi compañera es lo que yo les tengo que decir. Yo he tenido buenas experiencias con todos los maestros que están allí. No tengo ninguna queja, al contrario, tengo una hija que le ayuda a los maestros a superarse. Del bullying, como le llaman, creo que siempre ha habido, pero no era tan llamativo como lo hacen ahora. Ahora, no sé, los niños todos se burlan unos de otros. pero yo digo que no pasa de allí, ¿me entiende? Entonces yo no tengo ninguna queja de ellos, ni de los maestros, ni de los directores, desde que estuvo Mr. Solís hasta ahora. Los maestros que tengo con mi hija que le dan clases especial, ellos se portan de maravilla. Mi hija se va superando y esa es mi experiencia que yo tengo. Yo no tengo ninguna queja, si no yo la haría, sería la primera que me quejaría. Es todo lo que tengo que decirle yo, que yo le doy las gracias a todos los maestros de Desert por ponerles atención y por estar siempre al pendiente de lo que está pasando en esa escuela, que estamos muy protegidos y que ahí estamos al tanto. En esa escuela no se entra si no llevamos una identificación. Están protegidos por todos lados. Yo no entiendo si dicen que hay bullying cuando están protegidos por todos lados. Yo me siento orgullosa de que mis hijas estén en Desert. Es todo lo que yo les puedo decir.
Gracias, Ms. Reda. Gracias. Next, we have Erica Velarde.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, Ms.
Mi
Velarde.
nombre es Erika Velarde, tengo 4 hijos, un hijo graduado de Desert y 3 ahorita. Mi experiencia con los maestros ha sido muy buena. He recibido llamadas para decirme, su hijo necesita leer más, y también he recibido llamadas para decirme, el progreso de su hijo es bueno. He llevado a mis hijos, los principales han recibido a mis hijos a la bajada del carro, que a mí se me hace algo bonito. Cuando he tenido algo que arreglar en la oficina, siempre ha tenido atención de los maestros y de la administración. Por mi parte, doy el apoyo a los maestros. No tengo nada que decir en contra de ellos. Gracias.
Gracias. Ms. Velarde. Next, we have Viviana Mais. Rudy, can you? Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm currently an 8th grader at Desert Wind. I've been attending Desert Wind ever since I was in pre-K. Desert Wind is full of wonderful staff. We have amazing teachers, great principals, and awesome volunteers. They have always been helpful and, of course, respectful. Now, I've been really upset and I'm concerned about all the negative talking that's been going on about Desert Wind. They have been saying false statements and showing them out on the news. Over the past 9 years I've been here, there hasn't been a single case bullying. We are all really close and consider each other family. We have had a recent change in where mission-rich students came over and some problems started occurring, but we have tried to fix everything and made everyone feel welcomed. Like I said, I disagree with everything that they've been saying on the news. Ms. Franco is an awesome principal and she always wants us to succeed and make the best out of everything. Recently, something really heartbroken just happened with a little girl, but just because that happened doesn't mean Desert One is a horrible school like they've been saying. I would want all this bad talking to stop, and I am proud to say that I came from Desert Wind and I really love this school. Thank you.
Ines, thank you so much. Next, we have Sonia Rivera.
Good evening. I am a mom of 2 students that go to Desert Wind. It is Christian, who just came up, and Jasmine Rivera. We started hearing the rumors on the bullying. They do come from a different school. The first teacher that we saw there was actually the vice principal, Ms. Anda. She welcomed us so well. Believe me, 8 years that they attended the other school, my son, Never once were we welcomed like that, and they are part of the SISD school district. I was very, very surprised to see that the teachers, the staff, took the time to come and say hi to us. I was so amazed. Yes, the tragic thing that just happened recently with that student breaks my heart. If that would have been my daughter, believe me, once I would notice something of bullying, I would have brought it up all the way to the board, which would be in front of you guys. I've asked my son, has there been any bullying that you've seen? Because I don't take any of that. No, Mom, and he turns away. I make sure that if there's something he notices, I want to be the first to find out so I can let it out there, let the staff know, and administration know, and as far as it needs to go. The teachers are amazing there. I've heard that teachers are bullying their own students. That is ridiculous. They have accepted my family so well. They take the time to be with their students. My son has been so successful in this school. I'm not saying he wasn't in the other one, because SISD has been the best district that I've known, but I do not like the rumors. We see all the Facebook stuff they put up. It makes us sad because now Desert Wind is stained with that all day they're bullying and no one's watching them. And if I have a chance and I stop at the school, I don't see any of that rough bullying that they say is happening. Yes, kids are gonna be kids. They're gonna tell each other things, but to the point of that really bad incident that happened, I haven't yet heard anything, but I know you guys would have found out way soon. Desert Wind is a great school, and I thank you all for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rivera. Next, we have Janet Kramer. Good evening, Mrs. Kramer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Janet Kramer. I would like to begin by saying that I've been a part of the Socorro ISD family for over 2 decades as an elementary and middle school teacher. The last 10 years, I'm proud to say that I've been a Desert Wind Colt. I've seen our school go through difficult times and extremely prosperous times. Throughout the years, our school's sole focus has always been on the betterment of children. Through the steadfast leadership and constant encouragement of Principal Mrs. Patricia Franco and the continuing support of our assistant principals, Mr. Astorga, Ms. Padone, and previously Ms. Anda, our students continue to make gains in their academic growth and social skills. My colleagues, of which I'm proud to say are among the best that I've ever worked with, come to school each and every day with an open heart and are ready to work with each and every student. I also want to acknowledge so many wonderful parents and families that work alongside with the teachers for the betterment of all our students. It's my hope now that at this time our Desert Wind family can begin to heal. I hope that our board and parents still in our community support us. We cannot lose sight about what is really the most important thing, and that's our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Kramer. Next, we have Alejandra Castillo. Good evening, Mrs. Castillo.
Good afternoon. I am an 8th grader at Desert Wind, and on behalf of our family, I just wanted to inform you that what the news are saying are not true. I have been there since I have been a little kid, and I have never seen bullying happening. And yes, kids will be cruel, and they will make fun of other people, but never to the point where it becomes bullying. Ms. Franco is not a bad principal. In fact, she has been one of our best ones. She takes care of things. She makes sure that everybody's doing okay. Ms. Franco has motivated us to do our best and try harder every time. She is a role model, not just to me and not just to these kids that are here, but to other people at school and teachers. And I just want to make a statement about the fights. They weren't here at Desert Wind. We are not what people say we are. We are trying to do our best to try harder and keep on moving forward. But every time that we do a mistake, it's like we are horrible people when we're not. We're trying our best. And we are a family. And so then why would we hurt each other like that? We stand up for each other. We wouldn't do us wrong. People have heard the negative comments about Desert Wind, but what about the rest one? The good ones. There's more good than bad in us. I want people to understand that there are problems in every school, but it doesn't mean that they can attack us with false rumors. I love this school, and I can't stand watching my school being trashed with lies. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Leticia Favela. Is Ms. Favela here? We'll move on to Yvette Navarro.
Muy buenas tardes. Siempre nos enfocamos en ver las cosas negativas y a criticar. Es tiempo de agradecer. Ese es el motivo por el cual estoy aquí. Soy una madre de familia de la escuela de Desert Wind. Tengo una hija en el grado 7. En una ocasión pensé que ella estaba teniendo un comportamiento de rebeldía. Me gustaría dejarlo así sin entrar en detalles. Pedí hablar con la administración, precisamente con Ms. Franco, para comentarle mi preocupación. Inmediatamente mandaron llamar a mi hija para que hablara con la consejera del plantel, a la cual inmediatamente se comunicaron conmigo para explicarme lo que estaba ocurriendo. Les agradecí por la rapidez y seriedad con la que tomaron mi preocupación. A Dios gracias, fue nada más que eso. Es muy importante cuando hay comunicación entre padres y administración. Esa es la clave del éxito y progreso de cualquier escuela. Por más de 12 años he sido madre de familia de la escuela de Desert Wind. Ya mis 2 hijos mayores son freshmen y sophomore en Habs, Nuevo México. Puedo decir con orgullo que Desert Wind siempre ha sido la mejor y sólida base en la educación de mis hijos, de mis 3 hijos. Me siento honrada que mis hijos hayan sido y continúen siendo parte de esta ISD. Como padres nos corresponde fomentar la educación y respeto a nuestros hijos. De ahí parte el trabajo de la administración y facultad de la escuela. Desert Wind se ha caracterizado por darnos la oportunidad de tener siempre las puertas abiertas para cualquier duda que tengamos. Sé que en cualquier momento puedo acercarme a ellos y decirles mis inquietudes. Eso es todo. Gracias.
Gracias, Ms. Navarro. Next we'll go again to Leticia Favela de Quesada. Okay. Elba Argumado. I hope I pronounced that right. Argumedo. Buenas noches, Ms. Argumedo.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Elba Argumedo. Yo he tenido la gran fortuna de ser parte de la magnífica escuela de Desert Wind desde que empezó la escuela hasta la fecha. Como madre de familia, siempre me sentí muy orgullosa por todos los logros y por tomar parte de la escuela. Gracias a la base de la educación que mis 3 hijos recibieron en la escuela de Desert Wind, ahorita los 3 son estudiantes de colegio, por lo cual estoy gratamente agradecida con el Distrito Escolar de Socorro. Tengo la fortuna de convivir con los niños como empleada de Desert Wind desde kinder hasta 8º grado. Antes era pre-kinder, lamentablemente ya no. Es muy grato convivir con las criaturas, aprende uno de ellos, convive uno con ellos, llega a tomar parte uno en la vida de las criaturas como empleada, a veces hasta como mamá. Los niños se acercan, le piden a uno consejo, ayuda, a dudas y todo, y siempre hemos estado ahí, tanto los empleados como administración. Igualmente he tomado parte, afortunadamente, en estar enfrente en la oficina como la front desk lady. Contesto teléfonos, atiendo administradores, atiendo visitas, atiendo a los visitantes de aquí del distrito y lamentablemente he escuchado varios comentarios negativos que en realidad no es bueno es bueno poner oídos sordos, porque la escuela no es así como la están apuntando ahorita la gente. Todo lo contrario, tenemos una administración muy buena. La señora Franco siempre ha estado abierta para sus empleados, para sus estudiantes sobre todo, y para los padres. Cualquier duda que se ha presentado, cualquier problema, la señora como persona es magnífica. Como administradora es genial, y como jefa, pues yo la admiro mucho, y yo estoy aquí para apoyar a la escuela, a los estudiantes y a los papás, que siempre hemos estado ahí para los niños, porque para eso nos levantamos todos los días. Ellos son nuestro futuro. Gracias.
Gracias. Okay. Valerie Lerma? Valeria, I'm sorry. Good evening, ma'am.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm an 8th grader at Desert Wind. I've been enrolled in Desert Wind for almost 9 years. Desert Wind is surrounded by amazing people, the staff, the teachers, principals, counselors, and coaches. I've always been humble and open-minded. Now, I am overwhelmed by all the trash talking that is being addressed to my second home, Desert Wind. All they're putting out on the news are all false statements. For all these years I've been in Desert Wind, there hasn't been any cases on bullying. We all have known each other for years, so we consider ourselves family. We have learned to cherish one another and be kind to one another. What these what these parents are doing, like putting us out in the public, that seems to bullying to me. They're cyberbullying us by posting stuff on Facebook that's not even true. This keeps on happening over and over, just like what bullying defines. Now, on the fights that were shown on the news, one of them didn't even occur on campus. Our principal had no control over it. And I personally think that I truly admire our principal, because she has taken on a lot. Besides, the fight shouldn't even be shown. One of the subjects on the fight felt comfortable that his fight was shown to the public. I really love Desert Wind, and I want all this to end. I hold a lot of pride in my school, and I will stand up for it as long as I'm alive. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. We thank all of you tonight for your presentations. Thank you so much. Now we move on to item number 7, Board of Trustees business. Report and announcement of board members' continuing education credit hours. As required by the Texas Administrative Code, Chapter 61.1J, I will announce the completion, deficient, and exceeded continued education credits for each of our trustees. The following information is required to be reflected in the minutes of tonight's meeting and will be available for the local media. This year, Tier 1 is now required since there was no updates to the Texas legislature. Gary Gandara meets requirements in Tier 2 and Tier 3. Paul Guerra meets requirements in Tier 2 and exceeds requirements in Tier 3. Cynthia A. Nájera meets requirements in Tier 2 and exceeds requirements in Tier 3. Hector F. Gonzalez meets requirements in Tier 2 and exceeds requirements in Tier 3. Michael Nájera meets requirements in Tier 2 and exceeds requirements in Tier 3. Antonio Tony Ayub meets requirements in Tier 2 and exceeds requirements in Tier 3. Angelica Rodriguez meets requirements in Tier 2 and exceeds requirements in Tier 3. Completing the annual required continuing education is a basic obligation and expectation of any sitting board member under State Board of Education rules. Congratulations to all of you. Mr. Nájera.
Just a comment. You know, when I was a freshman in high school, I took, what's that? Oh, no, it works, I think now.
There we go.
What was that, a long time ago? When I was a freshman in high school, I took speech because I had difficulty talking in front of people. And I just want to say, and I know they're gone, but I'm just impressed by the kids that came up to speak to us today, because to stand in front of a group like that and share your thoughts, some of them personal, you know, that takes a lot of courage and a lot of discipline. And so I just wanted to say how impressed I was, because, I mean, I was a freshman in high school. I would freeze, and here we are, 8th and below, and they did a great job. I just had to say it. Thank you.
Mr. Gandara.
Mr. Gonzalez, go ahead.
This happens because we're the best.
Anybody else? Okay, let's move on to district reports. Facility report, Mr. Ianton. Weren't you wearing something else, Mr. Ianton, a while ago?
Yeah, my hair is a little. Good evening, President Gondla, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. The facility report will be on page 10, I believe. Let me see what we got. The first project is the transportation facility improvements. We should have already had the final walkthrough and the final inspection on that road, so we will be closing out that project, and I believe we'll have some contingency money coming back, that we have not spent on that particular project. The aquatic center is really underway. A lot of demolition work has been done. The plaster of the exterior pool the existing plaster has been removed. The stairs, the concrete stairs, and the slides have been removed, and we are removed the existing play structure. We're having a meeting, I believe they have a weekly meeting tomorrow, but they're going to meet with me on Friday to go over some things that we can continue to work on during our 2-week district closure. Construction projects will continue on, and we'll be continuing to oversee those. We're also power washing the decks. And here are some of the pictures. As you can see, the exterior slide, and you can see a lot of the plaster work on the exterior pool being removed. We're working with matching up the existing ceramic tile that's around the perimeter of the pool up at top. It's 20 plus years old, and it's kind of hard to match that tile. Unfortunately, we didn't have the money in to replace it all, so we're doing the best we can on that. The America's Courtroom, I believe on Monday, some of y'all attended the ribbon cutting on the American Courtroom. This was done internally with maintenance and operation staff. It is complete. We are working on a couple of things that are remaining on it, but we've got full occupancy, and the school will be able to begin using it. We're working on some seals and other things around the backdrop and in front of the judges' stand. So I commend the maintenance and operation crews that did this work internally. I think it shows that we can pretty much compete with anybody in building and stuff if we had the funds to do it. The tennis courts, I believe I showed you Americus and Socorro High School last month. We are about 50% through the one at Enzer Middle School. This doesn't look pretty, but this is the amount of cracks and stuff. And we have a process that we go through to seal that, seal those things. So you see the white product that's being inserted into those cracks to put a bond over the crack and kind of seal the area. And then that basically will move and expand and contract once we put the final layer on. So we are working on that, and I didn't have any of the finished photographs from last time, but you saw that. And then our final project is the HVAC project at Socorro High School. We'll be begin meeting with the engineer on that to design that, and that's the area of the administration, the media center, and the corridors around the main entrance of the facility. I am meeting with on the remaining, or the new elementary school. I'm meeting with the architects tomorrow. We've got our contract for them to sign, and then we'll get the board to sign it, and then we'll start meeting on that and starting our design work and on the prototypical design on that elementary school. That completes my report. Any questions?
Any question from Strangton?
Yeah, Mr. Harrington, I'd like to thank you and your team. They did excellent work in that courtroom. I mean, a lot of that work is handmade, handcrafted, and hard to find anywhere. You guys exceeded all expectations. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll let my team know. Thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you, Mr. Harrington.
Thank you.
Next we have, I lost my place. Grant report, Ms. Darnell.
Good evening, President Gondeta, Dr. Espinosa, and members of the board. To start, happy holidays. Enjoy your next couple weeks here. For the grants update tonight, our continuing grants highlights are our Project SMART grant. Our first Department of Defense grant is in a no-cost extension, and it is continues to support the schools and purchase a small amount of technology and STEM supplies for those schools with the no-cost budget that's carried forward. And our special ed grant that's our second DODEA grant. That one has just purchased 165 iPads, and so they should get Christmas presents at the beginning of the year. And they've also purchased some books and some other supplies for those campuses as well. Our Army Youth Program, we are still being audited. That should be completed by next month. And our college student worker was hired began this last week, and she is helping to oversee our APN and get our attendance back up at those schools. And our Creating Positive Change at Socorro, we have posted and will be interviewing this week for the DODEA military liaison position that was posted. We had quite a large number of applicants for that. And after the post-award meeting in October, we have made the requested revised budget changes that the funder had requested us to make, and that has been approved. And with our Kellogg grant for our WIN Academy. We have put together an implementation plan and had a meeting, a telephone meeting, a webinar with the funder for that grant. Oops. Okay. Applications submitted this past month. We submitted 2 more applications, a Texas Workforce Commission, Jobs and Educations for Teachers grant program. That one was for $143,000 worth of equipment for Cisco networking. That will be at Eastlake and Options High Schools. And then our Upward Bound program, the U.S. Department of Ed grant, we did that in conjunction with EPCC, and those were both submitted. Applications awarded, Mission Early College received a $500 scholarship from the Meadows Foundation. This was the 2nd year that they received this, and this allows them to do community service projects. So they're going to use that for a project for Center for Children. Awaiting notification, we have not had any updates yet on our last year's impact aid. We're also awaiting notification from the Fort Bliss Spouses Association and prices, give them 5. And also the Texas Health Institute, that one is still outstanding. I don't know what's going on here. I think that's the end of the grant. The big one, this is just going wild. I think I'll just take my hand off the buzzer and let somebody else mess with it. But the grant that we have to get submitted, the last one that I was going to mention is the one that we're working on that has to get submitted this next month, is the impact aid for this year. So we are completing it as well. Are there any questions?
Any questions from Mr. Darnell?
I have a question.
Mr. Nakada.
Ms. Darnell, how do you control the presentation like that?
I don't know who did that for me.
Any more questions? Thank you, Mr. Darnell.
Thanks.
Next, we go down to consent agenda. Is there any items that would like to be pulled for consent agenda? If not, I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Nakada, seconded by Mr. Ayub. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, new business. Consider approval of TASB Update 105 and local policy. Ms. Macias.
Yes. Mr. Grande, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board, administration recommends consideration and approval and revision to the following policies: TASB Update 105, BQ, EHBD, FDC, and local policies, FFAC, and FDB as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mrs. Nakada, seconded by Mrs. Rodriguez. Any further discussion?
Mr. Ganda,
Mr. Ayub.
on FDC local, I'm
Yes, sir.
on page 91, 1 of 2.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering on admissions, why that statement was there. Why did we want to put a statement that the district shall not stigmatize or segregate a student who is homeless? It kind of just sits there as an independent statement, and obviously there's broad spectrum. Otherwise, we'll have to put this on every policy, and it starts with admissions. Even if that statement needed to come in, it probably should have been secondary, but I'm even wondering why the statement is there.
And I believe I have our expert here, Ms. Jennifer Jones, so I'm going to
Great,
relay
thank you.
that to her. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
Where are you? 91. right here.
Mr. Ayub, would you mind repeating the question just one
Absolutely.
more time?
It's just that the statement kind of stands out to me. There, on page 91 under admissions, there's a one sentence there, and it says, the district shall not stigmatize or segregate a student who is homeless. And then the next statement starts with the principal and campus admission staff. So even if that statement belonged there, it kind of belongs secondary because the heading is admissions. But just a statement sitting out there is kind of odd, and I was wondering why it's there.
The reason it's there is because in the past, in other school districts, students who were experiencing homelessness were being stigmatized and separated from the regular classrooms. They were being provided space in like shelters or in schools that were located near locations where homeless populations were abundant. And so the Department of Ed and TEA want to make absolutely sure that school districts understand that it is against the law and it needs to be in policy stated that way, that we are not going to stigmatize or separate our homeless students. So it's kind of to make sure that everybody understands that this is a population that based on their circumstances cannot be separated. Does that help?
Yes, I mean, I don't agree, and then, you know, obviously that's just my perspective, but, you know, we could have also stated this on a positive note for the students. Basically, we're stigmatizing students by having this statement in a policy dealing with the homeless. And it's just a standout statement out there saying, we're not gonna do this to you. Whereas, are we not gonna treat them like we treat every other student? Well, I'm not even sure why that statement belongs there, unless if you tell me the law requires it.
I do agree with you on the way that the statement stands out. It came from TASB as the recommendation for the way it's outlined. It was in previous policy when this was part of the No Child Left Behind. Then it developed an even more strong standing or statement when Every Student Succeeds Act came on board. And so it's just to make absolutely clear that ESSA is making sure that districts all across the state of Texas, as well as the nation, are not stigmatizing or separating our students. It was still occurring over the past 16 years.
And we've had a problem in our district with this?
We have not had a problem, no, sir. We make sure, absolutely sure, that we're in compliance with the law.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
you know, I kind of agree with Mr. A. Could it be just by the fact that we are setting these people apart, we already making them, you know, second-kind citizens, okay? Wouldn't be something better that no student should be stigmatized, segregated in any Socorro school district?
Well, but I think that if you look at the local policy and the intent and purpose at the top, it specifically addresses homeless students. So we're already separating because we have a policy in place, and all this is doing is talking about how we admit these students into our schools.
Well, all the more reason, if it's already that this whole thing is dealing with the homeless, we don't need to repeat ourselves, do we?
Well, I think that when we have new individuals coming into the school district who are registration staff, new administrators, they need to understand that we cannot put up any barriers. We cannot say that we're not going to admit you based on your status. We're not going to segregate you and say, well, you need to go enroll in the school district that's your attendance area or zone. And I think this is just supporting that concept. It's a good piece of wording that I can refer to when I'm training our registrars, our principals, and other staff members in the district that help enroll students.
Yeah, I cannot speak for others, but for myself. I've been to many places, and in many cases, the first thing they see that you're Mexican. I'm an American, okay? By the point of saying that I'm Mexican, they're already segregating me somewhere else.
And one thing that I would like to recommend, and we've done this before, is if you all are uncomfortable with the things that you have shared, what we'll do is let us go back and research to see if it is by law that we want to put it in. And if not, then what we could do is we could reword it. And that's where we could go back with TASB and ensure that it's something and we could put it back in policy. I asked if it was time sensitive, and they said that if you all agree, we could bring it back for January with that feedback.
Mr. Gandara?
Mr. Nájera.
Ms. Macias, I just want to, I don't have a problem with the statement, and you know, you know that if I had a problem with the policy, I would certainly bring it to your attention. And I see the need too. I don't know about, you know, my colleagues up here, but I know that I've gotten several phone calls from parents who become homeless under different circumstances, most of them beyond their control. And when they talk to me, there's a fear in their voice. You know, it's unfortunate already that the parents and therefore their kids find themselves in that, under those circumstances. But the parents are devastated that it's going to affect their kids even more so than it already has, because they're going to be forced to attend another school. They're going to be forced. And so this isn't the first time I've seen this statement, but I've been able to reassure parents by saying it's in our policy. It says it right here. It, you know, it is in FDC. Look at it. I'll give you a copy of it. And if anybody tells you anything to the contrary, you let them know that you have the policy. Of course, no one's ever told them differently, and I'm, you know, proud and happy to say that. But it gives them a sense of confidence and at least a little reassurance, a little gleam of hope that this situation, hopefully being temporary, won't affect their children any more than it has, and that there's policy and law to protect their kids, you know, under these circumstances. So, I mean, I certainly understand the concerns, and you know, but it's worked for me, and I know that it's reassured parents in those situations. So.
We have a motion, we can take a vote, or they can take it back.
We have
I
a
think
motion
when you
made
put a
by-
statement out like that, if there isn't a problem, then don't put it there. And the minute you develop a policy for something that there's not a problem, now we've got a problem. And are we gonna go through all the other policies and say people cannot be stigmatized for this or for that? And it's interesting that the stigma and the segregation has to do with admissions and not anything else. You know, so why is it under admissions? Can the students be stigmatized or segregated because of their appearance or their clothing or the fact that they're unwashed potentially or other things? It doesn't belong there. And the minute you do that, now you've created a problem that didn't exist, is my concern. But we do have a motion and on the table, so if they want to take a vote.
Now we have Mrs. Nájera.
I think having the statement there also protects us. I mean, from my opinion on it, no, we don't do it. We wouldn't tolerate our students being stigmatized or segregated, but I also think it protects us for the future. And that basis is why I didn't have a problem with the statement. But we do have a motion.
We do have a motion made by Mrs. Nájera, second by Mrs. Rodriguez. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Let's go to, thank you. Let's go to item 10B, discussion and possible action regarding demolition of structure on property located at 313 South Rio Vista Road. Mr. Ianton.
Man, she did mess up this. There we go. Okay, if you recall, last meeting, we brought this to you. This is the old Ed Center located on Rio Vista and Buford Road. And it's the buildings kind of up on the upper part of the area. We have moved completely out of that, moved that function to the Options High School. So this building has been standing vacant. And through some committed funds, we did that move, and there's some funds left over in there that we would be able to start removing this building or demolishing it. There's a couple of options. I've talked to a couple of the board members, and we discussed this in the facility committee meeting. If you recall, we had a similar situation on Socorro Road with the old municipal building and the old fire station. And internally, we removed that. We tore that building down and hauled it off and hauled any metals or any salvageable material to the scrap yards and stuff. That is an option that we have here, or we could possibly put it out for proposals to see if a demolition company would come in and remove it for salvageable material at minimal cost to us or no cost to us. And, but right now we just, I just need some direction on, we need to probably go ahead and remove the building. It's, like I said, it's not being in use. So those are a couple of options. Mr. Gonzalez mentioned we can build good things. We can tear it down. Good, we can tear. But, and then if we tear it down internally, it's going to take a little bit longer. We'll have to look at the slab after it's done. The structure itself is I don't know if y'all been over there. I'm sure some of you. It's a metal building, metal vents and everything. All that is relatively good. I mean, you can, they're standardized components in so many bays, that could be removed and used somewhere else eventually. The roof and the other connection parts in between the 7 buildings is not worth anything because we just kind of came in there and filled it in and it basically leaks. I had a request internally, I have not looked into it, of possibly saving the gym and tearing everything down around it. And I believe the gym is the largest
in the middle.
In the middle, so we can on the Socorro Road, we got a demolition permit or from the city, so we would have to go through that process there. So those are some of our options, and we'll be willing to do whatever the board so desire.
Mr. Gandhi?
Mr. Ayub.
How old is the building, Mr. Harrington?
Oh, gosh.
Well, let me cut to the chase. Is there asbestos in the building?
No, we have removed as the majority of it. There still could be some. If there is, then that throws in another situation. But I know that once it was occupied, we addressed some of the asbestos problem. That was the floor tile and mainly the floor tile.
So I thought what we kind of talked about were several options. One is maybe putting out for a bid for somebody to come and remove it and leave us a vacant lot at no cost to the districts, and their payment would be whatever they salvage. The other thing is you do it, but that could cost up to or upwards of $100,000. And my feeling was we could keep our $100,000 and have somebody tear it down for nothing. Because I think if we tear it down, I don't think there's $100,000 worth of salvage material. I would suspect there isn't, but
Let me ask.
I'm not a salvage person. I don't know.
Mr. Iington, is the roof metal?
Yes.
So the whole structure is metal?
It's all metal panels, our panels, it's a metal building.
Okay.
How many square feet?
I don't have that offhand.
Roughly more than, you think it's about 15,000?
No, I'd say it's probably, Escontrias is, I'd say it's probably 30,000.
30,000.
And
And
let me give
excluding
you-
the gym?
Excluding
Yes.
it? So not knocking down the gym itself, right? The gym would stay?
Well, that's just a proposal. I have not brought that back to the facility
Well,
committee.
who asked for the gym? Okay. And the reason?
VAST, the
Volunteer after school
volunteer.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your acronyms right now, or? I heard BATS. I said, BATS? I was like.
I mean, we just talked about it.
From my point of view, as a man that deals with metal and scrap, anybody can knock, if it's all metal, would knock it down in a week with the right equipment.
Yeah, there's some drywall studs and
The
stuff
only
in
the
it.
only problem with that is the cement slabs themselves. That's where your costs kick in, is because you have to remove that. And any demolition company, I would think, is going to charge for that. That's the expensive part, is the trash itself, because that's where you stick your money in with jackhammer, excavator, trucks to haul off the cement to the dump or wherever they decide to haul it off to. Metal-wise, in our best interest, I would actually tell you to wait since it's been there, because metal is starting to go back up again. In the last week alone, iron has gone up $30 a ton, and I think after our new president takes over, it's gonna shoot up again. That's me as a businessman wise. I would say since it's been sitting there and if we're not in a hurry, I would let it sit for another 6 months, and we'd probably make another $100 a ton on the iron if we, were to decide to do it our own. I would suggest that, I would suggest you go out for some proposals to see what demolition companies would come to charge to demolish it, and then I could tell you from there. I mean, I could tell you if it's beneficial for them to do the job, or it benefits us to just do it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I would even volunteer my time to run the excavator because I just like tearing things apart. I'd volunteer my time to tear it apart. And that's something I'm good at doing. So,
I see a new Tim the Tool Man.
And I think,
because basically you'd have to rent an excavator to do this with a thumb. That's about the only thing that because I know we have our own bulldozers, our own front end loaders, and we have our own trucks. The scrap companies would provide us with their own trailers to load up.
Yes, sir.
So that would probably with no cost at all. I'm pretty sure there'd be no cost at all. So I would suggest that go out for some proposals, go out to some demolition companies, see what they come back with, and then take it from there. And then I'll gladly tell you what.
Yes, sir. And I think that's that would be a recommendation from the administration too. And that will allow us to look at the gym, because that center building, that's where everything comes into. All of our power, all of our electrical panels and everything.
Is in that building.
So if we could demolish around it. Now, the gym is not in very good shape, so there'll be some expense to that. But maybe we can look at that in this time period and go out for an RFP and see what we can come up with.
Mr. Nakira.
That was my question, is the gym salvageable?
It is, as far as we'll have to put some work in it. I know that it's been a while since I've been over there, but I know that when we were over there and when we were having some issue with it, we did a lot of work to the ceiling and did some ceiling work in there because there was some issues with that and stuff. So, but as far as a regular gym, court, all that, to my knowledge, it's okay.
What about vandalism to the building, Mr. Ironton?
I have not heard of anything.
Well, and if you try to salvage the building, though, now you're not going to have those surrounding buildings around there, and now you're also going to have a landscape cost. We'll have to need a sidewalk to get to the building. Otherwise, we're going to have just either dirt or slabs laying there. So I think we probably want to look at both ways, and it may not be cost effective. I know it's a great idea, but it may not be cost effective to save my gym.
That's my CS.
Maybe we can knock it down and build another school around it. So, what do you?
I would suggest proposals. I'd suggest that you go out for some proposals, and then after that, we take it from there.
So, do we need a motion?
No, I don't think we need one, right?
Okay.
I think Mr. Ironton's got it.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
go down. Thank you, Mr. Ironton. Let's go down to item 11. This meeting is to be closed for a consultation with legal counsel for discussion regarding parent level 3 grievance complaint filed by RM and status of legal litigation between ESD number 1 and SISD to discuss personal and real estate matters, to consider administration's recommendations for assistant principal at Purple Heart Elementary School, James P. Butler Elementary School, and Captain Walter E. Clark Middle School under Texas Government Code Section 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. The time is 7:53. pretty good. Hey, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet.
Is that what it is?
No. I wasn't looking. I actually want to hear it. Everybody ready?
I think
Just wait for Mr.
Macias has to answer for the whole cabinet.
All right.
And she can do it.
We're out of executive session. It is 8:40. Let's go to item number 8, decision and possible action regarding parent level 3 complaint filed by RM Mr. Blanco.
Thank you, Board President Gondra, Dr. Espinosa, members of the board. Steve Blanco, legal counsel for the district. Last month, you received the initial package of information regarding this parent level 3 complaint, and tonight you had an additional opportunity to talk about it and discuss what steps you might want to take. At this time, we would entertain a motion on the level 3 appeal filed by RM.
Motion to uphold the hearing officer's recommendation.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Ayub, second by Mrs. Rodriguez. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, decision and possible action regarding litigation between ESD number 1 and SISD. Mr. Blanco.
Thank you. I gave you an update on the status of our discussions with the ESD number 1, and based on their response, which had some changes to our last proposal, we will go back to the ESD based on our discussion in closed session and come to you in January with hopefully a final resolution. So no action is required at this time.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to item number C, consider approval of administrative recommendation. Dr. Joe Espinosa.
Yes,
Let's go, Assistant Principal of Purple Heart Elementary.
yes, President Gondra and members of the board, at this time, administration recommends Ms. Phyllis Sully to assume all the roles and the responsibilities as Assistant Principal of Purple Heart Elementary.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Nájera, second by Mrs. Rodriguez. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, James P. Butler Elementary School.
Yes, President Gondra, members of the board, at this time, administration recommends Ms. Yvonne Romero to assume all the roles and the responsibilities as Assistant Principal at James Butler Elementary.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mrs. Nájera, second by Mr. Ayub. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, Captain Walter E. Clark Middle School.
Yes, President Gondra, members of the board, at this time, administration is pulling this item from the agenda.
Okay. Before we close down, I really want to wish everybody in this room happy holidays. I know it's going to be a while before we see each other again, but Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
There you go. There be for no items important.
Happy Easter all day.
Items for this board. This meeting is now over at 8:42.